Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to What's the Damage, the good old WTD question mark here on my channel, the segment on this channel where I can unleash all of my inner rage and sadness and anger and sorrow, all of the negative emotions that come with being a human being, especially in today's day and age where it seems like woke culture is ruining everything, like I talked about recently in this other video here about movies sucking. Not that recent, I think it's been a few weeks at this point that I uploaded that video, and you guys may have noticed that I have been absent on this channel lately. And just in case you have no idea why exactly, I'm going to be leaving a link up here to a video on my Chazzy Plus channel, right, where I talk a little bit about my personal life behind the scenes. And I already did a whole video discussing this, a nearly 20-minute long video talking about this, so just go and watch that, okay? You'll understand why I took a little hiatus and why my background looks different. There's no more paintings up there, this little drywall incident, right? I had to remove them before things got worse. But anyway, I'm back, I'm trying to give you guys content here, and today, to come back after a while, I'm going to start off with a nice little concept vlog, which is a term that I coined on this channel where I just come here and talk to you guys, with very little, if any, editing at all. It's just me and the background music and the outro at the end and the intro as well. So today I'm going to be talking about bots, right? I'm pretty sure you guys know what bots are because they have found their way into all corners of the internet, right? Lately in the past few years. Actually, they've always been a thing, but it seems like they've been getting worse and worse because I think that with the rise of AI, it's almost like bots are becoming sentient now. It's like they know what they are and they have learned how to communicate with us as regular humans do with each other, right? Like for example, here on YouTube, there are many bots that are used for a lot of different reasons, right? Like for example, somebody might use bots in a way that will make them look better on the platform, like getting more subscribers, right? Inflating their subscriber count, or using them to post a bunch of comments on their videos to engage the audience more and grow in the algorithm, right? Giving their videos likes as well. This is something that happens a lot, and it's really hard because it's really hard to tell like if the bots are being used purposefully or not, because the lines get blurred between reality and fiction, if that makes sense. It's basically like, it's really hard to tell when a creator is, when there's a lot of bots posting on somebody's, video or a short or a community post, right? It's really hard to know if they were actually there, if they were like hired or bought by the creator to expand on their image a little bit that way, or if they really are just randomly finding themselves, in these views and commenting, interacting, right? Because you can actually tell when a profile is a bot. There are a few telltale signs, like the username, for example. If somebody's username is a bunch of jumbled up letters and numbers, odds are they're a bot, right? Their profile picture could be something completely random that doesn't make any sense at all, right? Like maybe the bot's name will be, I don't know, Adrian Brody 552189, and then the picture is of a girl, for example. It's like you can tell when something is a bot. The way that they comment as well, they might say something that's just, a very threadbare or dull, bland comment that almost looks like it's some sort of alien trying to appear human. It's very strange, very weird. Like me, for example, I can sort of kind of tell because I look through YouTube comments a lot, but like when I'm watching a video, even if it's something that interests me, maybe every now and again I'll be scrolling through the comments just to see what people are saying, especially if it's a video that I've already seen, because I have a habit of rewatching stuff that I've already seen, right? So I like to look through the comments and see what people are saying, the top rated comments as well, look through the replies. Sometimes they're funny, and I can tell who are bots and who aren't bots, right? It's very easy for me, but I don't know, I guess I just have better, capture software. My eyes, got the lens, got the botastical things there, man. I don't know. It's just very easy, right? So even the way that people reply to you, you can kind of tell that they're not exactly real. But the question is, what exactly is this person? Like, is it AI? Is it some kind of algorithm that's being fed answers automatically, and that will, because like just like Meta AI on Facebook, for example, or WhatsApp, how exactly does it work? Do they pull from a data bank of responses and talk to you? Do they just take some sentences from English that actually combine into a coherent narrative and post it? It's very, very odd, and it's starting to become scary because you don't really know what's real anymore. By the way, you guys might notice that the lighting is going to look a little inconsistent throughout the video. I had to mess with the flash exposure compensation to make myself look a little bit brighter, you know, because the weather isn't really helping me. The sun is gone, so the background lighting is gonna look a little strange, you know, but still I'm trying to work through it, you know, the way that I can. You guys are gonna have to be patient with me because I'm recording at 3 p.m. and by now usually there is sunlight, but I don't know, it's kind of like an overcast cloudy day, so I might look a little brighter, but I'll try to fix what I can in post, right? But anyway, I have a certain bone to pick with creators like Mr. Beast, for example, because I have a very hard time believing that all of his subscribers are really truly subscribers, you know, because the guy has over 300 million subs, and yes, there are 8 billion people on the planet, and a lot of the world has access to internet and they use YouTube, and a lot of people have, you know, accounts that they use and whatnot, but it's, even though it's possible, it's very hard to believe that one person can have close to 400 million subscribers, you know, which I don't know, I think he's pretty close to it at this point, you know, because every week I check just out of curiosity and it gets higher, right? So now it's not that I'm accusing Mr. Beast of being a fraud in this sense, because we all know he's a fraud in other senses, but that's the topic for another day perhaps, you know. Let's talk about his scams later. But like, I'm actually a fan of Jimmy, but some of the things that he does are a little sus, and some are very sus, you know, and it's very hard to understand how somebody can grow so quickly on this platform, you know. And as is the case with many creators on YouTube, every single creator actually, you know, myself included, the number of subscribers that you have never reflects the amount of views that you get, right? So me, for example, I have a little over 1,500 subscribers on my channel right now, but I'm well aware that not all of them watch my channel, you know. They don't watch my videos because my videos, they rarely get over 100 views. It's been getting better lately because I've been doing better, you know, thumbnails and stuff, you know, and trying to cover topics in a different way. And I have spin-off channels that I kind of, you know, use to share among each other. So it does help, but I understand that it's not because I have 1,500 subscribers that I'm going to get 1,500 views in every single video, right? Although Mr. Beast, he seems to either come close to or surpass that, you know? It's like almost all of his subscribers watch his videos, and sometimes they'll get even more views, right, than his subscriber count, but it's still very sus. You cannot convince me that at least maybe even half of those subscribers aren't bots. Maybe half is a bit of a stretch, but a large portion of them cannot possibly be actual people engaging with his content, right? It's the same thing on Twitter or other social networks, and Instagram especially. This is a thing, guys. Many celebrities that you admire that have millions of followers, you do know that they buy followers, right? This is a thing that you can do, and it's not illegal as far as I know. You can actually legally purchase followers that Instagram will give you, right? It's I don't know exactly how it works because I've never tried it, but basically you buy a package and you suddenly get a certain number of bots that are actually a certain number of followers that I imagine are actually bots, right? You don't, like, nobody makes actual users follow other users, right? I think it's just a bunch of bots, or maybe even Instagram themselves have some kind of, you know, warehouse of virtual profiles that they use, you know. For all we know, it's Instagram 1, Instagram 2, Instagram 3, you know, the apps there. So I don't know. It's very complicated because the lines get blurred. Now, of course, you see a celebrity with 10 or 20 million subscribers, you're not going to take the time to open that subscriber count and check every single one by one, right? Unless, of course, you're me. I do that sometimes just out of curiosity, just to see how far I can get, and I have seen a lot of bots, you know. Like I said earlier, it's very easy and possible to identify what is a bot and what is not, right? And hey, whatever, man. To each his own, you know, like buying followers to artificially inflate your follower count. Heck, if I could do it, I would, you know, if I could afford that, because it makes the profiles look better, or verify yourself. But at the same time, even though I would do it, there's a part of me that would also reconsider it, you know, because it would take longer to grow more organically, but at the same time, it's strange, you know, like Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, you know, they don't have those many followers, you know. It's not possible because, like, even though a lot of people in the world love soccer, I don't think a lot of people would go out of their way to actually follow athletes that they like. Not even I do this. I don't follow Cristiano or Messi on social media. Sometimes I'll look at what they post. I'm curious, it's cool, but I don't follow them. When it comes to sports, the only thing that I follow are my respective teams that I actually support, you know, that's it. I don't follow my favorite athletes. I follow the Los Angeles Lakers on Instagram and Twitter, and I like them on Facebook, Facebook, but I don't follow LeBron James anywhere. You know, I just don't feel the need to. Like, every now and again, if I'm curious, I'll go and check up and see what he's up to, but I don't want to follow and have his stuff constantly on my feed, right? I don't know. So this is what's complicated with bots nowadays, man. It's getting harder and harder to gauge what's real and what's not. And it is truly becoming frightening, right? At one point, we're gonna have, conversations entirely with bots or AI, right? That bots that are generated by AI, they're fueled and powered by artificial intelligence. And that to me is very scary. It's advancing and it's cool, but it's also very, very frightening. And I don't know where we're gonna stop, right? But hey, if I happen to receive, subscribers on my channel that are bots, and you guys, like you're a bot watching this, if they comment and stuff and engage, whatever, that's fine, I'll interact. But it does happen, by the way. There have been a few comments recently that I know are bots, but I still respond to them because hey, it's engagement. I'll take engagement in any way I can, man. Another area where bots flourish quite freely is in gaming. You know, you're playing a game, whether it's online or offline, it's mostly online where this happens, where there's a bunch of bots, right? This is kind of like, I'm not sure if this is necessarily frowned upon, because I think that the gaming community has embraced bots a lot. In certain games, like massive multiplayer online role-playing games like RuneScape, for example, that I played myself for many years, bots are generally a thing that are considered a hassle, because it's not really you playing the game, it's you exploiting the system, to have something there for you to cheat. Essentially, you have a bot who's constantly just spamming the same button so you can level up while you're away from the keyboard. That can actually get you banned from a game like that. I don't know about League of Legends or World of Warcraft or Dota, but RuneScape in particular, they used to frown upon bots. I don't know what the culture is like nowadays, but it used to be a thing that could get you permanently banned too back in the day. Old school RuneScape was quite something. Not really old school, but like me, for example, I played like the version after old school. I think it was RuneScape 2. Like back in 07, 06, but still, that's, I don't know. But in certain online games today, bots seem to be encouraged, because, for example, you might need a bot, but not necessarily like, I don't know, even if it's just a second controller with a guest profile, of yourself, so you can just, help yourself farm something, or get some easy kills here so you can level up or get an achievement, it's normal. I do this in Madden, it's nice, There are some achievements that are good for you to use bots to do a little bit of skilling and leveling up, and that's fine. But like, I don't know, I'm playing this game right now called Stumble Guys, which I'm actually a little addicted to. It was a little bit more a few weeks ago, but I still play it every now and again. And whenever I go into a lobby, I notice the kinds of usernames and the behaviors of the characters, and I can tell right away that they're all bots. It's not really a person playing. It's kind of like a computer generated program trying to play the game as a person would, and they always suck. Either that or they're just a bunch of dumb kids. Yeah, maybe one or the other, but still, I can tell that there are a lot of bots there, and it's not the first time that I've seen this in an online game, so it's very weird. Sometimes they're a hassle, sometimes they're fun to play with because they're easy for you to, sacrifice to get your skills up and grind and stuff, but other times it is a little strange, right? It's really hard to understand how they work sometimes. Not even I understand them, and I'm a freaking gamer, right? But still, I think that the day might come where we might have an online game that is played entirely by bots, like you don't even like an entire e-gaming tournaments, esports playing just bots against each other, right? It's like, where are the humans? Where are we? We're going to be replaced, just like us teachers with AI, They're not going to need us anymore. We're going to become obsolete, and it's going to suck. But still, that's just life, I guess. But I don't think I have anything else to say. I think I've rambled on enough. I just wanted to get my opinion out there with this little concept vlog, which, in case you're unfamiliar, is a term that I coined on my channel, which is just where I come here and talk to you guys with very minimal, if any, editing at all. And because I've been away from YouTube for a while, I wanted to do this, just something quick and easy to record and edit so I can get back in the game, do some Cuphead gameplays for you guys. But pretty soon I'll get back into my regular content that I think you guys might be missing, and hopefully I can go back to doing with Euphoria. And if you guys happen to enjoy this video, if you agree or disagree, drop a comment below. And if you enjoyed it, go ahead and give it a like, and also subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single week. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell too so you can know exactly what time I upload. Subscribe to my other channels. You got Chazzy Plus, you got Chazzy Cast for podcasts, Chazzy Cast BR for Portuguese podcasts. It's all good. All of my channels are active now, so I'm excited to see how things are going to shape up this year for me here on this platform. And that's it, guys. This is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you all in the next video. Roll the outro screen.